drastic.
Yeah, this is the point I'm trying to make. Like, everything you're saying is
So
correct.
what do you suggest that the parents can do with their children?
I ain't worried about the parents right now. The parents, listen, I'm worried about the ones. Listen, I understand what you're saying, but like I said before, there was more peaceful protesters than rioters. You know what I'm saying? The people who, well, I know you trying to get at, because it was the rioters was doing irresponsible things. You know, but to me, it was more people that was protesting than rioters. So that's why
I think the kids provoke. All right, the rioters we had, but then when the kids that standing around, they saw the cops getting more in group with the rioters. They did something stupid and messed it up for the rioters. These kids don't have to do that. All they had to do was just, like I said,
for the protesters. You mean protesters?
There was those protesting out there. Then when these kids seen the cops right there, you get what I'm saying?
I understand.
The kids was already aggravated. They seen this going on. They're like, "Fuck that, nigga! Let's create a war." Act stupid. And got
stupid.
the protesters hurt.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying, but
for everybody.
Like I said before, that's an excuse. Just because somebody is rioting over here, that you don't take it out on all the people protesters.
Yes.
You don't do that. All right, you take care of the rioters, and that's it. You don't look at it and say, "Oh, these were going to riot over here, so all y'all got to go down."
Yeah, but that one rock cast everything already.
No, with us it do that.
Yeah,
it don't do that with them. It just don't. It will, listen, I'm not trying to make a race issue because I know some people out there.
Doing it from the helicopter.
But I can tell you right now,
these kids is out of order.
When it comes to race, I'm telling you right now, when it comes to race, and I've seen it too many times.
Yes.
When a white person do something stupid, it do not cast on the rest of them. It just don't. If they do something stupid, it's the individual they did something stupid. But if a black person do something stupid, then all of us is in the same category. That's the problem I'm trying to say. Is that all black people now is like this. So if one person out there thugging, that means all the black men in the neighborhood is thugging.
Yeah, they would do that.
They don't do that.
I seen a lot of them just throw their hands up to show that they ain't have nothing in their hands.
That's my point.
And they still got grabbed. I'm not disputing that.
That's
but
my
took one knucklehead to cause all of this confusion.
But it did take one knucklehead in their minds. But I know plenty of knuckleheads that runs amongst them, like a KKK, and still they will not stick that to every white person on the planet or in America. They won't do it. They won't do it. They'll be like, that's a KKK. They don't have nothing to do with us.
Yes.
You know? But when a black person do something wrong, all of a sudden, it sticks to all of us. I'm telling you, I can show you.
Why drastic? Because
of racism.
All right. We know racism exists, and we know that there's going to be a time that we are always going to get blamed for things. Correct? So how do we maneuver something like that? How do we get around that?
No, it's not how we got to maneuver something like that. No, it's about what they need to do. They need to stop the bigotry, stop the racism, stop the stereotyping, and that's it. That's all it is to it.
Drastic.
Listen. I don't go around and call every white person a racist. All right?
Yeah.
I don't do that either. I don't call every white person a bigot. You know what I mean? Because of few KKK members. So if you're a person if you're a white person and you see one or two group of black people acting stupid, don't take it upon yourself to think that if they represent all of us. Because that makes you look like you make you look like an ignorant person.
Yes.
That's what I'm trying to say. Make it look ignorant. Because you all may assume that, well, this person, these three kids on the block is thugs, from all of them is thugs. That makes you ignorant and it makes you feel like a racist. We don't need to change nothing. You need to change your attitude if you're out there with this racist and this bigoted attitude. That's what it comes down to. Because all of us is not out there doing crazy outlandish stuff. And even though we do have people, and even though we do need to change certain teach our kids better, so therefore we won't have kids out there doing crazy things, that shouldn't give you an excuse to go out there. Black crime should not give you an excuse to be a racist, to be a bigot. It just don't. Because like I said, white people kill white people themselves also. Asians kill Asians. Because usually in this country, everybody is divided by race and by culture.
Yes.
So therefore, you cannot expect a black person to always like another black person. Because if that's the case, we won't have
African against African American.
Exactly. In Africa, you have people fighting. In Europe, you have people fighting. You had 2 world wars in Europe. All right, in Africa, they have mad tribal wars. What do you expect? You expect because they have the same color, they gonna get along? It don't work like that. This is a reflection of what's really going on.
All right.
So when a black kid get killed by a cop, by a racist cop, they'll all of a sudden, well, what about black and black crime? Well, what about white crime?
Yeah.
Because it's out there. Please don't spare me the bull crap. All right, spare me the bull crap. You know, I don't like get riled up about it, but the bottom line is when the media and some of these assholes that live in this country is the reason why some of these cops and some of these senators are doing what they're doing. Because they round these cops up to do that. They putting these senators in place and these Congress in place that only want to represent them and leave everybody out. And then we got to stop this nonsense. All right? I'm not saying that black people need to get themselves together, but it's not like we're the only group of people that need to get ourselves together. Because I can go to Plant colleges right now where we got white kids in and they got mad drugs in them dorms. All right? So please.
That's right.
Mad dorms, and nobody busting in them dorm rooms.
Yes.
You know, but they're busting into a black person's house to try to find drugs, and half the time they don't have no drugs.
True.
I seen that already on footage already. They bust into this lady's house in New York. It's two black Muslims. They try to tell them you can't come in here. They bust their way in anyway. Mm-hmm. They gonna do it in the dormitory?
Hell no.
For the white kids? No, they're not doing it. That's what I'm trying to say. All right. We ain't talking about white people. We talking about white supremacy. And if you're a white person who don't feel like it, who are not about that, you're not a white supremacist. I'm not talking about you. All right. I'm talking about people who actually practice that. All right. That's what I'm talking about. And this is the problem. And I'm not saying that black people can't be separatists. They can't have their own way of hating other groups of people, because I know people like that too, and around black people that even I disagree with. All right, but the bottom line is, come on, let's keep it real. Let's keep it real. Like, that's no excuse. None of this stuff is excuse. The kids was wrong for out there rioting, but the media was also wrong for only showing the rioters and not showing the people that was out there, people protesting.
But drastic. All right, let's forget about the race issue right now. It's about the kids going nuts real quick. You get what I'm saying? These kids. It's still the kids that provoked the situation. Yeah, the protesters probably was protesting. I'd rather worry about the foundation of the situation, and then all the other shit we can worry about after. Because we need to maintain our kids.
I know it's done that, but my thing is that when it comes to our kids, it's like it reflects all of us, and that's the problem I have. Just because a few kids act stupid, it should not be affect the whole race. That's the point I'm trying to make. That's why I don't want to even talk about that right now. I understand you got concern that you have a child of your own,
yes.
and you don't want the child out there doing something foul, and that also would kill it too. Mm-hmm. But the bottom line is
by accident. Yeah. You get what I'm saying?
But because a few knuckleheads is out there doing what they're doing, because they fed up, you shouldn't be representing the whole race. And I see people online saying that this is what black people do. They animals. They this. That.
Yes.
That's the thing I'm trying. That's the thing I'm fighting against. I'm fighting against these ignorant, racist assholes who want to find an excuse to try to make themselves look superior. You know, and that's what they do. You know, when they go out there and say, "Oh, look at these people right here and represent all black people, and these all black people are animals," and that's why they should. I heard one person say online, "This is why black people need to go back in slavery." Now, you understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. This is the point I'm trying to make. You know, black people need to go back to slavery. That's my point right there. Mm-hmm. You know, I had to argue with this guy online because I feel like that was the most despicable thing he could say. Mm-hmm. This is what I'm saying. That's my point. Yeah. The media and the people who are out there doing that crap, with this ignorant, stereotyping, need to stop the nonsense.
But we're gonna always have that division because the seed been planted. You understand? But what we do with it now is what matters.
Wait, no, it's not gonna matter. Because back in the '60s, we didn't even dress a certain way. We was mad peaceful back in the '60s.
Look what happened. Look what happened.
People still got ran over. Look what happened in '65 when the people was just going in to march and protest to get the vote.
Yes.
And she had the cops ran them over. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I mean, I'm just saying that.
You mean to tell me that you saying no matter what we do, we never going to see results?
No, as long as there's racist people in this country, we're never going to see results.
But we can't stop hate.
No, you can't stop hate, but at the same time, you cannot let them put you down to the point where you feel like you is something wrong with you, and that's the point. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And that's what they want to do. They want to say, well, a few black people over here do something else, so we all fucked up. No, I'm not going to say that. because a few kids do something stupid. I'm not gonna say I'm.
And that's why I said it's not about what you are being called. It's what you respond to. Somebody call you a nigga. You mean to tell me the word nigga is gonna affect me? No, it's not.
I'm not.
If somebody throw a rock at me, that ain't gonna affect me. Now, if you threaten me with a gun, like you threatening to kill me, now you're gonna have a war because it's a level of war that now you're provoking. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, but the point I'm trying to make, the point I'm trying to make is that no, it's not gonna harm you. But that's not what's going on. You got people actually killing us.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? That's the point I'm trying to make. Nigga, this and that, okay, fine. But them people that did that, they didn't just say nigga and this and that. They was fighting the protesters. Those white drunk baseball fans. They was fighting them. That's different. They wasn't just saying nigga and monkey. They was actually fighting them. They were like throwing chairs.
Yes.
That's the one I'm trying to say. Because they drunk and half of them probably had this attitude.
And what about our kids? Some of them kids was high off of them damn mollies.
Exactly.
And all that idiocy stuff going on.
Exactly. And everything you're saying is correct. I'm not disputing you about how they act.
Okay.
I'm disputing the fact that the media.
This is how society putting it out there. How our kids are always the common. Oh yes, the crazy ones.
They didn't show not one footage of the peaceful protesters. Not one. I ain't seen not one. And yet, you know why? And why I say they was I know out there because there was people who posting online about people that was peacefully protesting in Baltimore. Protest, and they said this is what the media would not show you. Everybody, all of those posters said this is what the media won't show you.
Yes,
that's my point. So now, if you got all this media footage of people riding, what do you think the white person that live in rural America gonna think?
Yes,
they never been around a white person they like. I mean, a black person around them they like. What are they gonna think? They're gonna think all of us like this. That's the way the media trick people.
Yes.
They did that same thing over there in the Middle East. They do the same thing. They showed America only show parts of the Middle East that people riding and this and that and terrorists. They don't show the people that's living day to day every life, who's very respectful, who's very peaceful. They don't show that.
But do you think if they showed that, would that be a solution? If they showed that, would that be a solution?
No, it won't be a solution. But at least I know that people, at least to get people out there to say
that we're civil.
That some of us are civil.
Okay, I understand.
You understand? But if they ain't showing none of that, and they ain't showing the uncivilized ones, then you gonna have people that thinking that we're also uncivilized.
Yeah, the niggas, I knew I couldn't trust them.
Exactly. Yeah. That's the point I was trying to make.
And everything once again, not all niggers. The word niggers, not all niggers still.
Exactly.
And for what is what's the definition of nigger? Whatever you call the definition of nigger. Because ebonics can be a word that we could just create automatically now and address it to someone.
Exactly. And that's another thing. It's like
it's misperception. If you
that's the only thing that got me was the war, right? I didn't agree with these kids doing what they did because I know I was like, wow, you know what I'm saying, this that. But at the same time, what I disliked was that they didn't show the peaceful ones, and that got me irked. That got me real mad. That got me real mad because I'm saying you got people that actually already think they already stereotype us already, and then you got the audacity, the media got the audacity to only show the violent rioters. I couldn't. They did that in Ferguson when Katrina happened in New Orleans. They were only showing the people that was stealing from the stores. They didn't show the people that actually needed help. They didn't show the people stealing from the stores like we just did it on purpose. Like we was like, I mean, come on. And then that's the point I'm trying to make. That's why Kanye West said what he said about George Bush.
Okay.
Because he just got fed up with the media. He got fed up with what the media was doing. You know, and I talk about the media all the time because I feel like
they put it out there. They tell live vision.
Exactly. They don't tell the whole story. You know, and but at the same time, there's people out there that also gotta not be ignorant and think. Cause like I said, I've been fed for a long time that a lot of white people have did this to us, did this that to us, racist. You know, and it's true. It is true that we was enslaved. Well, we don't have white masters, you know, KKK. And to this day, I do not look at every black white person and say you're all racist.
Yes. I
do not do that because I use my head. But unfortunately,
not everyone's fault.
It's not because every white person is not a racist. But unfortunately, there's people out there who probably think that every white person is a racist, and I don't agree with them. So if I don't agree with them, why do you think I'm gonna agree with a person who thinks that all black people are animals and know how to not civilized and on welfare and on this and that? Cause I see all this stuff online.
Yes.
You know.
Because that's what society teach.
Yeah.
They teach most black people are on public assistance.
Exactly.
They teach that most Latinos have a lot of child rearing.
Black people too.
But they put
But
that
that-
out